So I'm standing here outside, as you can tell by the clouds behind me and the wind that's blowing in my hair. It's about to storm. This week I had a conversation with a colleague, and they asked me this question. They said, are you contemplative? Are you a contemplative person spiritually? And I wasn't sure how to answer that. Honestly, I think, well, you know, if you think contemplative, like I'm a deep thinker and I like to think deeply about things and kind of really dig in and understand, yeah, I think I'm kind of contemplative. But the reality is that if you think about contemplative in the sense of just being still and knowing God, experiencing God in a deep level, then I don't know that I am like I'd like to be. I try to be. I want to get out of my own head, and I want to be able to just stop and sense God and feel God, and not just think about it all the time, not just try to figure it out all the time. Sometimes it's hard for me to get out of my own head. Sometimes it's easy for me to just lean back on believing the answers instead of letting go of that and letting myself just try to feel God. You know, those words, be still and know that I'm God, they come from Psalm 46. And in Psalm 46, there's this idea of leaning on God as a refuge. In fact, if you read the whole Psalm, it says, God is our refuge and strength, a help always near in times of great trouble. That's why we won't be afraid when the world falls apart, when the mountains crumble into the center of the sea, when the waters roar and rage, when the mountains shake because of surging waves. There's a river whose streams gladden God's city, the holiest dwelling in the Most High. God is in that city. It will never crumble. God will help it when morning dawns. Nations roar, kingdoms crumble. God utters his voice, the earth melts. The Lord of heavenly forces is with us. The God of Jacob is our place of safety. Come see the Lord's deeds. What devastation he has imposed on the earth, bringing wars to an end in every corner of the world, breaking the bow and shattering the spear, burning chariots with fire. And then here we get to verse 10. That's enough. Now know that I am God. I am exalted among all nations. I am exalted throughout the world. Or in other translations, be still and know that I am God, that I am exalted among all nations and throughout the world. The Lord of heavenly forces is with us. The God of Jacob is our place of safety. And even though it's kind of awkward for me to try to do this video out here in the storm, the reality is that when we lean on God as our refuge, when we actually lean on our experience of God instead of always trying to figure it out, always trying to do it ourselves, then we can actually experience God as our refuge and our safety in the midst of the storms of our lives. So my prayer for you this week is that you would experience that refuge, that safety in the middle of the storms of your life. Blessings. Have a great week.